Pretty warm day out here. Let's see what we can get done. I have two dryers that were dropped off for repair. This one, I'm pretty sure the belt is broken. The drum doesn't spin. I'm not sure what's going on with this one. Pulled the top half off as expected. No belt, which means it broke. Let's get the front end removed and take a better look. Here goes the belt. The heating element and sensors are all reading continuity. The only thing we got to do is replace this belt, give it a good cleanup, and re-grease a couple things. While I wait to hear back from the customer on that one, I'm going to move on to the next repair. There is a cable on this dryer, but they never hooked up the ground screw. So let's get that done before we test it. Machine is plugged in. Let's see what it's doing. Sounds like it wants to, and then it stops. Let's unplug it and take a better look. Got everything pulled apart. Seems like we got a couple issues. The motor is locked up for some reason. It doesn't want to spin freely. Also got some wires that are corroding that hook up to the heating element. This thing's pretty old, needs a cleanup. Pulled this G back up. The owner wants to get it repaired. This is what a good motor should move like, nice and freely. Let's get it taken outside and clean it up. Went through with the multimeter, double checked that the heating element and sensors were in good standing. Next up, we're going to re-grease the back bearing and the belt tensioner and find the new belt for it. The drum and new belt are in place. Cleaned up the front end. We can test it with the top half off. I have it plugged in. Spinning nice and smooth now. We're going to make sure it's cycling through and put everything back on. My dad's bringing some pallets up here. Got this Whirlpool inside running on a test cycle. Started working on this GE washer last week. Went ahead and took the belt off. It's starting to fall apart. We're gonna get it replaced and get this thing tested. I've looked everywhere. I can't find a replacement belt for this machine. I'm gonna have to order one. In the meantime, let's move on to something else. This is the washer I had testing inside. It's got bad suspension rods, so I'm getting the head unit disconnected, removing all the wires. That way we can get the top half removed. There we go. From here, I'm going to set the machine on its side, start removing and replacing each of the suspension rods. Here goes rod number one. Got all four of the old shocks replaced. Now let's start putting it back together. He's out of here for tonight. Top half is back on. Last thing to do is hook up all the wires. Another day in the shop coming to an end. Let's get the dogs fed, start working on some dinner. We'll be back out here tomorrow.